Happy Sabbath, everyone. My name is Chantal, and this little one is little Ezekiel. This is the first time I've ever done a YouTube video, so hopefully it goes well. The content of this video is going to be mostly just reading each chapter of the Bible, and if you guys have any questions, just comment on the bottom, and I'll try to get as much as I can, because I'm just trying. I've been an Adventist for as long as I can remember. We're Catholic when I was young, probably when I turned, I don't know, probably 4, 5 years old. I became Adventist and also became vegetarian. So since then, my father always taught us about the Bible. We spent hours studying the Bible. We prayed 3 times a day. But then as I grew up, I became distracted and taken away from it. So I was astray. I was lost, and I want to be found. So I'm just starting this YouTube video just to get people who are in the same situation as I am. We're starting to so we can both study the Bible together. I have a lot of questions, and hopefully someone can answer for me, because there's some questions that I can't find anyone to answer it. So hopefully this way we can all help each other. All right, don't mind my hair right now. It's just, yeah, I'm gonna be changing it tomorrow, but this is like the first time I did a video. It's actually, yeah, anyways. I don't have the King James Version Bible. I have the NIV. The New King James Bible is my mom's place. So I'm just gonna start with 1 Samuel. Give me a moment. Second Samuel. I'm just gonna throw those first chapters. I have read so far, I'm not gonna lie, from Genesis to 2 Samuel, and it is interesting story. I highly recommend to actually read the Bible and get this story, but a summary as best as I can about both of them. So it starts in the beginning, how God created heaven and earth. Then it gives us the details, the length took him to create heaven and earth. Then it goes to Adam and Eve's story. This is just a summary of it. We go to Noah's story, Noah and the ark, and then we go through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the whole entire generation. From there on, we go to Israel, from the 12 tribes, their descendants, and how they cried to God to rescue them from Pharaoh. From Pharaoh, they spent 40 years in the wilderness, continuously disobeying God, continuously at the same time fearing him. There's a point where God came in, he's like, okay, bring them to the mountain, and they come to the mountain, and he's here speaking to them through thunder and lightning, and people like Israel became so scared. They're like, no, don't let him speak to us, please. Send Moses up there and let him speak to God. So because they were so scared of his voice, then Moses went to represent Israel, and then for him the 10 Commandments were created, and so forth. Moses, before he even reached, what's the name of the place? The Promised Land. Oh my, I know this. I'm sorry. I just, when it comes to name, they just fly out of me. But before he reached the Promised Land, Jericho, Moses passed away. But he did get to see how Jericho was, get a view of it, and then he died. Aaron, his brother, died as well. And then Joshua is the one who took over, led, and he brought Israel to the Promised Land, which was Jericho. From there on, so many things happened. Tribes were divided. Tribe when they got their own land, and then again they started sinning at the same time. So here there was sin, cry to God, just like this generation. But it's actually very interesting. A lot of war in it. So I find it very interesting. Me, I'm not a war or fighting person, but the Bible does not leave you behind. Trust me, you get to know everything. There's nothing missing. So highly would just suggest to watch if you like romance, very like action. Everything is in the Bible. Just the last 6 chapters, 10 chapters I have read, 10 books I have read is wow. I'm not even halfway done. But yeah, that's a summary of it. So 2 Samuel is what I'm at, and then we're gonna go for further from there. And I do apologize for using the new NIV. It's not the best version because there's a lot of verses missing. When I get the opportunity, I will bring King James version. Not King James, no King James. I can understand King James. So 2 Samuel, chapter 1. It says, David hears of Saul's death. After the death of Saul, David returned from striking down the pronouncing the names, Amalekites, and stayed in Zelgah 2 days. On the third day, a man arrived from Saul, camped with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he came to David, he fell to the ground to pay him honor. Where have you come from? David asked him. He answered, I have escaped from Israelite camp. What happened? David asked. Tell me. Then the men fled from the battle. He replied. Then he replied, many of them fell and died, and Saul and his son Jonathan are dead. Background story, Jonathan and David are super best friends. They made a pact that they're gonna help each other. Saul, which is Jonathan's father, who's dead in 1 Samuel, was ordained king by God. And because Israel wanted to be like their other people, they wanted someone to have as a king, and God said, well, because these people have refused to let me be their king, they want to have someone who represents earthly king, so God gave them Saul. Son become jealous of how David was more liked, and people kept shouting how David killed more people than Israel and then Saul, and he became jealous, and he kept continuously he was hunting him throughout the book. But then finally there's a war going on with Egypt and the Philistines. So this is a story of it right now. So a guy comes from the Amalekites. He's a child from the Amalekites, stayed in Zelgah for 2 days, and then he meets David, and that's what they're talking about right now. So David said, what happened? David asked, this is verse 4. Tell me. The men fled from the battle, he replied. This is the Amalekites talking. Many of them fell and died, and Saul and his son Jonathan are dead. Then David said to the young man who brought him in the report, how do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead? I happened to be on Mount Gilboa, the young man said, and there was Saul leaning on his spear with chariots and their driver in a hot pursuit. When he turned around and saw him, he called out to me, and I said, what can I do? He asked me, who are you? I'm an Amalekite, I answered. Then he said to me, stand here by me and kill me. I am in threes of death, but I'm still alive. So that means he's almost there to die, but not really. So I stood beside him and killed him, because I know that after he had fallen, he could not survive. And I took the crown that was on his head and the brand on his arm, and have brought them here to my Lord. So it's talking to David. Then David and all the men with him took hold of the clothes and tore them. They mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and his son Jonathan, and for the army of the Lord, and for the nation of Israel, because they have fallen by the sword. David said to the young man who brought him the report, where are you from? I am the son of foreigner and Amalekites. Oh, by the way, this guy is he's Amalekite, went to live in with the Israelites, so that's why he's a foreigner. I am the son of foreigner, Amalekites, he answered. David asked him, why aren't you afraid to lift your head to destroy the Lord anointed? Then David called one of his men and said, go, strike him down. So he struck him down, and he died. For David had said to him, "Your blood be on your own head. Your mouth testify against you when you said, I have killed the Lord anointed." This is verse 17 of 2 Samuel, chapter 1. David took up his lament concerning Saul and his son Jonathan, and he ordered that the people of Judah be taught this lament of the bow. It is written in the book of Jahar. Agizel lies, slay on your height, Israel. How the mighty have fallen. Tell it not in Gath, proclaiming it not in the street of Ashkelon. Lest the daughter of the Philistine be glad, lest the daughter of the uncircumcised rejoice. Mountain of Gilboa, may you have neither dawn nor rain, may no shower fall on your terrace field. For there the shield of the mighty was despised, and the shield of Saul no longer rubbed with oil. From the blood of slave, from the flesh of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan did not turn back. The sword of Saul did not return unsatisfied. Saul and Jonathan, in life they were loved and admired, and in death they were not portrayed. They were swift than eagles. They were swifter than eagles. They were stronger than lions. Daughter of Israel, weep for Saul, who clothed you in scarlet and finery, who adore your garment with ornament of gold. How the mighty have fallen in battle. Jonathan lies, lay on your heights. I grieve for you, Jonathan, my brother. You are very dear to me. Your love for me was wonderful, more wonderful than that of a woman. How the mighty have fallen. The weapons of the war have perished. That was just chapter 1. We'll do chapter 1 2 another time. So that is the first video of my first YouTube video. Do apologize for the stumbles and everything else that was going on. So hopefully you guys like it. If you want more, just subscribe. We're gonna go through the Bible completely, so I do highly suggest reading previous chapter to this one to get a better content of this one, because from there on we're gonna continue. Okay, well, have a wonderful day, y'all. Bye bye.